This is our special edition. My guest today is Mr. Gashaw Edea, and Mr. Gashaw last week was with us, and at that time the national dialogue was underway, but now it is concluded. Let us also discuss what was the national dialogue discussed and what was the challenges and the opportunities. A national dialogue is all about Ethiopia's unity and ensuring prosperity. Stay with us. Thank you, Mr. Gashaw, for coming for the second time to discuss this issue.
Okay, thank you very much for having me again. We met at the right time after we have successfully accomplished one of the historical journey that Ethiopia and the Ethiopians have accomplished. So thank you very much really for having me again.
How was it? You are one of the participants.
Well, really, that was one of the historical moments where Ethiopians gathered to lay their fingerprint for the future of their nation, for the future of their people. And I think this is, in Africa, the first time when thousands of the citizens come together to advise with their all differences, with their all thoughts that they believe to be right for their country. So, we started with all diversified beliefs, values, ideas. Then eventually we came together to the table where we are discussing for our nation's better future. So really this is one of the biggest paradigm shift for Ethiopian politics, for Ethiopians, based on our culture, based on our political journey, based on our history. Really, as I said on my previous discussion, Ethiopians have successfully wrote a history which is a second Adwa, because for humans one of the biggest successes to come together beyond our ego, beyond our personal interest, and to discuss about a common goal and common values. So really this is one of the biggest milestone for Ethiopians. As you have been following up, there are around 8 agendas that we have been discussing by dividing the 4,000 peoples into 8. So everybody concluded with an amazing agreement, with an amazing conclusion for the better of tomorrow by reconciling the history and the times. So eventually what I can say is history always gives you a chance. History and the time gives a chance for a people, for a country, and for a leadership. So thanks to our current leadership of Ethiopia, the leadership opened the door and created every infrastructure, security, and everything for this national dialogue to come to a conclusion. So we as a people, as a nation, as a leadership, we use this greatest opportunity that history and time gave us. And finally, really, Ethiopia has won. Ethiopians has won, and even the leadership that we have at this time wrote history with the people. So I'm really glad to be part of this history.
And now you participated in the national dialogue is over. What was your expectation and what are you feeling now?
Sure, my expectation was, we as humans, we feel, we experience, and we think based on our experiences that we had previously. So based on our political cultures and our experiences, it was very hard for me to believe that these 45 days will be accomplished in this, successful situation, because culturally, our politics has been driven by the few elites, in the old times, and we never had an experience, as a people, especially 4,000 peoples, to come together with all our political understanding, with all our knowledge difference that we had. So, I came from United States, and based on the political maturities that I experienced in the well-developed nation of United States, and when I was comparing that one with our current political status, cultures, and history, really, I didn't have that much big confidence that we'll come to this greatest moment of history. So we came together before 45 days. Everybody was, bringing the idea that they believe to be right for their nation, for our people. So the ideas were highly diversified. So at the beginning, my expectation was really I had a lot of threats, and when I say threats, I mean doubts that will come to a conclusion. But luckily, through time, Ethiopians start to see why we are here for, and they start to see what do I know and what do I don't know, because everybody was bringing the idea democratically onto the table. Then we are sharing the ideas, we are sharing experiences. Then everybody start to see clearly Ethiopia, where we are today, what our history, what are our differences, why are we here today, generally, based on our unity, based on our peace, based on our security. So, everybody start to open up our eyes. And, eventually I was really surprised that I came to know that Ethiopians, don't have that much big difference. All of us need peace. All of us want to see a better generation, for our next generations. And culturally, in terms of values, we really love our kids. We love our children. So our children are our next generation. So we start to see reality. What does it mean to build a nation? What does it mean to be a unity? What does it mean to be a common history? So every ego, start to go away like a cloud, and we start to see the ground. We start to see our country, and eventually, luckily, I'm very glad that these all 4,000 peoples, came together for a common mission, for a common nation, for a common future. And really, when we start and where we are today, it's like dark in the daylight for me, because naturally as a human, believing a new thing is very hard, or making a new paradigm is not easy for us as a human, because all of us are the product of past experiences in terms of knowledge and emotions and histories and all. But in psychology, for humans to develop a new paradigm, the minimum amount of days, like they are saying, is 21 days. So on the other side, repetition becomes habits, and we come together and we see what really Ethiopia looks like, the beauty of Ethiopia. We saw the 81 nations and nationalities who owns their values, indigenous language, cultures. We start to love each other, and with all our differences in terms of cultures, values, language, we start to see our nation. We start to narrow all our differences for a common goal. That doesn't mean that we are a uniform, in terms of cultures, values, and nationalities, but keeping our nation, our language, values, and everything, we can create a common values, a common beliefs, a common ideas that can build, generations that can create a bridge between yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So that doesn't mean that there are some differences in ideas, but the main thing is, at the end of the days, the peoples have won, the truth has won, and Ethiopia has won. So regardless of the egos and the desires of our confused elites, our confused politicians, who are not lucky enough to sit down around a table and using their knowledge to come up with an ideas that can build the people's better future and better country. Now the peoples are teaching the elites and the politicians, this is how we can discuss about a common values. This is how we can discuss about a unity. This is how we can discuss about a better nation. This is the pivotal moment for Ethiopia and Ethiopians, that this country is owned by the peoples, not the interest of outsiders, not our historical enemies, not those elites who are working as a double agent between our nations and the outsiders. That time is dead now. The reason is, it's not the leadership of Ethiopia who decides that. It's the owner of the country. The people say that it's over. Now, the elites, the politicians will be behind the interests of the people. So, as I said, we have successfully transitioned our expectation from the dark to the lights, and we came to the table as a people. So, I'm very happy that my expectation was totally like a daylight for me.
And two African leaders, the former leaders, Uhuru Kenyatta, former president of the Kenya, and Olusegun Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, who has also, a contribution in the Pretoria Agreement, witnessed that even the Uhuru Kenyatta's speech touched every corner of Ethiopia. What does that mean for us?
Sure. In my opinion, especially the speech of Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the former president of Kenya, is history 101 lesson. Not only for outsiders, even for Ethiopians who are not lucky enough to honestly understand what Ethiopia looks like historically, as a people, culture-wise, from north to the south and from east to the west.
Sure.
I was really surprised to see the former president or the leader of another nation who really went that much, dive deep into the bottom of what Ethiopia looks like in terms of history. Who are we as a people yesterday? Who are we today? And what do we look like as a nation? So the former president of the Kenya, or Uhuru Kenyatta, really opened up a new door for many peoples to see, to understand, to believe what Ethiopia really looks like. And he started from the north, for the north of Ethiopia, what Tigray looks like, what Amara looks like, what Oromo looks like, and what all nationalities are in terms of values, in terms of cultures, who we are as a nation, and what we accomplished historically. He started from the victory of Adwa, that is the proud of all Africans, and that broken down into pieces the myths and the desires of the colonizers. And really, on that day when I listened to him, I really felt proud again and again, when I see him, that he really teach everybody what Ethiopia looks like. So on the other side also, the former president of Nigeria, he also gave really an elderly advice to Ethiopians, to the politicians, to really see Ethiopia.
You discussed without any problem and come up to the conclusion, the 4,000 people. And what do you expect about the implementation?
Sure. The 4,000 people have already discussed for the last 40 days, more than 40 days. We have contributed what we believe to be right for our nation, for our people, and also we gave a recommendation what type of leadership, what type of politics, what type of government structure is good for our nation, based on who we are as a people, not based on how the politics or a book or anybody defined Ethiopia. So the 4,000 people have already given the recommendation to the Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission. So the National Dialogue Commission will submit that document to the Ethiopian government or to the parliament. So the Ethiopian government and the parliament will see, the document, in my opinion. Then they will compare and discuss on it based on the reality, at this time, in terms of politics, in terms of peoples, in terms of the global situation at this time. So it doesn't mean that everything will be implemented at the same time.
Sure.
because everything has a time, of implementation. So there's no doubt, because government means it's part of the people, it's part of the nation. So our government, our parliament, and the decision maker will come together, to discuss how this document will be implemented, when it will be implemented, where it will be implemented. And also there are discussions that were made to be implemented in the regional governments. So those documents will be shared between the regional government for implementation, in my opinion, and it will be also shared for the for the federal government, what should be implemented as federal government. For example, we raised about the military, because the foundation of this country is also our military structure, our defense. So that thing will be implemented by the federal government, and many things,
Sure.
about our nations, about our people. So, in my opinion, the peoples believe the National Dialogue Commission, who already given them the documents. Then, with a good faith, for the better of our nations, there will be an implementation moment. There will be a phase. There will be a schedule. There is no doubt, because it was our government, our leadership, first of all, who opened up this door, who gave the chance for the people, for the nation, to create this amazing moment of history for Ethiopians. And so the government is, I can say, is part of the ownership, for this national dialogue, because if the government and the leadership didn't want this moment to happen, we wouldn't have come together from all over the globe. So there is no doubt, the Ethiopian government opened up the door, arranged all the facilities, the security, the safety, everything, the whole 45 days for Ethiopians to come together without any fear, with all the propaganda that were coming out from outside. So everybody is, I can say, almost all of us, the 4,000 people who represent the 130 million people, we have full confidence, because we were given the direction by the national dialogue and the Ethiopian government, or the leadership, that we can come together and discuss about our nation. So it will be implemented. We are not in rush, but we give a trust and a belief on our leadership that everything and all the documents, time by time, based on reality, based on evaluation, it will come to action, in my opinion. Yeah.
And what is expected from the government on its implementation, from political parties? Some are excluded themselves from participating in the national dialogue, but accepting what the public, what the people, the citizens decide is also another discipline, I think. And what is expected from political parties and different stakeholders?
In my opinion, the time and the belief of the elites that they are the only one to decide for the country, that door is closed. The people and the owner of the nation have decided for themselves. The only option, the only choice they have is to accept every implementation that's going to come.
The people's decision.
Yes, the people's decision. Because 4,000 people didn't come from anywhere. They are part of the society, part of the nation, part of the people. So the peoples have decided this is what we want. This is what the future of Ethiopia looks like. This is the political system that we want. Then the owner of these discussions are the people, the national dialogue, and our government and the leadership. These three parties are the one who initiated this one. And if the people decided and believe in the government, the leadership, and the commission that what we have discussed is the way going forward to build a nation, to build a generation, a better future, the political parties, first of all, don't have any single right to say a single word, and decide what the nation should look like in the future.
Because the door was open
Yes.
to participate.
Yeah.
And they refused, some of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
Some refused. So if they refused, they have to accept what was decided, you mean?
Of course, because you know, the definition of nation is all about the people. They are also part of the people. And the 4,000 peoples who participated on the national dialogue are represented by 130 million people who are the owner of this nation.
Sure.
And you know, in my opinion, this type of belief is over. It should have to be closed like a stone age, in my opinion. So they could have a difference with the leadership at this time, but they cannot have a difference with the people.
Sure.
So in my opinion, that's it. If the door is closed, they have to come behind, enter through the open door that's opened by the people and the national dialogue and the leadership at this time.
Thank you. And what were the challenges and the opportunities during the discussion?
Yeah, you know, basically as a human nature, you know, we all have a difference. You know, there is no any precondition in terms of politics and belief.
Sure.
You know, we are invited and we represented the nation to bring in an idea about the better ideas and the thoughts for our nation and the people. So, you know, as a human nature, we all have a difference. But at the end of the day, it's up to individuals, it's up to the groups to work for a common goal. You know, we don't need to expect 100%, you know, in terms of coming together, you know, coming together on the same ideas and beliefs on the all 8 agendas. But at the end of the day, the majority is going to win. If 90%, 75% of the participants believe that this is the way, the others don't have any option, just like the elites that we say. So there might be some differences in terms of what type of government structure, what type of political future, how the country should be, you know, governed. There may be a difference. And also there was a discussion about our capital city, how it should be governed, and the historical factors. Some people who are influenced by interest groups, they may try to you know, express their feeling, their experiences, and their egos at that time, as a place. But there, you know, the people didn't have a place for an ego and the interest of outsiders and the interest of outside and the inner enemies. And with all our differences, eventually, and also with all our challenges, eventually reality has won, and truth has won. The people won eventually, because you can try to hide truth. You can try your best to cover fairness, but you'll never kill it. You'll never hide it. Eventually, truth has won, history has won, and fairness has won. And those peoples, you know, who try to stand on the ground when they came into the meeting.
So to be a winner, following the principles and the truth and fairness is very important, you are saying.
Yes, because, you know, the point is we are not a nation of immigrants. Every nation and nationalities owns the land, our values. We are indigenous for our nation. So that's truth, basically, you know. That's a foundation. Being an indigenous for this nation is like a fair, a truth, and a backbone for this nation. So based on that, you know, we discussed, you know, about our nations, about our capital city, about our political future. So it's up to the individual. But as I said, anybody can try to hide the truth based on our past experiences. That's all about our past experience, because you can't hide history, you can't hide truth. And based on that, you know, even though I can't call it even a challenge. You know, people try to hide the truth. People try to cover the truth of our nations and the peoples, but, you know, it didn't go that far. Eventually, you know, we successfully won, you know, as a people and as a nation, in my opinion.
How can reaching on an agreement through this national dialogue will help us to push our national interests. Ethiopia has completed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is a giant hydroelectric power in the continent, and is still aspiring different mega projects, including access to seaport and building different infrastructures. The Bishoftu International Airport is there, and how this can help us to push forward these national interests.
Of course, it's like this one of the greatest momentum, for Ethiopians, because we came together as a nations, to build one of the biggest dam in Africa by winning our historical enemies who had been, working hard, to destabilize our peace, so that we could never, grow economically, especially to stop us to use the biggest resource that we have on Nile River. So we did it eventually, Also, GERD is also one of the, like a second Adwa, just like a national dialogue. So the success of the building of the GERD is one of a pivotal moment to accomplish our national interests as a nation around the continent, around the globe, because we defended our natural rights. The 80% of the water that had been flowing in our nation were obstructed, for centuries, not to even touch it. But eventually we won on the stage of the United Nations. We told to the world that this is our rights. The same way we defended our rights before 130 years, we defended our rights also economically to make one of the biggest transition in the transformation by building GERD. So we are also, as you said, building one of the biggest airport in Bishoftu. And also there are many mega projects that are under construction in all over the country. So this national dialogue is like a foundation, because before you build anything, basically coming together, discussing, building ideas come together. So, to stabilize our politics, to stabilize our unity, this national dialogue, gave us the biggest momentum, the biggest energy, that we can come together beyond building the mega projects. It gave us an idea, a glance, a light, that we can come, we can discuss and, defend our national interests around the globe. And the other thing is, in my opinion, the next, homework that we have is to tell to the world that we have the right to access the sea. We had that one historically, but in my opinion, two leaders who never represented Ethiopian national interest went on the global stage to totally close our rights of accessing the sea. And in my opinion, that agreement was like an agreement where they made like a revenge against Ethiopian national interest. But there is a truth, as I said previously. You can try your best, to hide the truth, but we have a truth also in accessing the sea, because that part of Ethiopian territory, previously. So we have a truth at hand that to tell to the world that the leader of the Eritrean regime, and also a man who claimed himself to be the representative of Ethiopia, they had an agreement just to close Ethiopians to not to have a sea access. So we can take this document to the international stage and to tell that we deserve to have a sea access. So we show to the world that our politics is getting matured, and we are trying to solve our political problems, our differences, and also to change the economy of our peoples by discussing, by coming together. We show that one to the world. by sitting down for the last 45 days, now Ethiopians now can also come together to tell to the world that we still have one of the biggest national interests that we need to address to the United Nations, to the world powers, to have a sea access. So, of course, it became a foundational, to tell to the world that, we can come together to defend our national interest, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. A very important point you have raised. And finally, you have said our politics is getting matured. And in a nation where politics is matured, everything will be smooth. And thank you very much for your second time, Mr. Gashaw. We really appreciate.
Thank you very much too. We had a great discussion that we believe to be shared between our peoples. Thank you very much again.
Dear viewers, this is all about our discussion for this edition, and of course this is the second time we have discussed with Mr. Gashaw, and you have got very important lesson from this edition again. And the national dialogue was already over, but the next phase is the implementation. That needs all nations concerned, all nations consciousness, and all nations participation as well. And thank you very much. Till next edition, goodbye.